Ah, let's do this. I blame George W. Bush because mall VTuber orgs are crashing down and burning. For many, becoming a VTuber with an organization or becoming an editor for them or artist or manager is their biggest dream. And it makes sense. Becoming a part of an idol group feels like a dream. Finally, someone believed in you. Finally, you're a part of something special. The idol dreams, much like the American dream, are a scam. With time, anyone who joins a VTuber organization learns that they are nothing but a paycheck, a failure, even an inconvenience. These companies have an unsustainable business plan, and after they invest so much in you, so much in your branch, there is an impossible expectation of delivery. You will fail, and you will become a liability. These companies that are supposed to be the happiest place on earth and make all your dreams come true are actually just the site of a Sisyphean race to stay relevant, to not be tossed away like the garbage they think you are. This is the magical world of VTubing this week, and this is unfortunately the world of VTubing always. Why is that, and what can we do about it? Hi, I'm Susie Llum, and today, whether you're a VTuber super fan or a VTuber tourist, you're going to be learning what is wrong with VTubing. So the catalyst for this video is that 2 days ago, Lonnie, a manager for Brave Group, made a post on Twitter claiming that she was fired under false pretenses. And she has evidence that they were plotting to make up a reason to fire her. So if you're not so chronically online that you have no idea what a job is supposed to look like, you know that this is crazy. This is an HR disaster. But somehow this company and other companies have been getting away with this BS for too long. So the goal of this video today is I'm going to explain to you guys kind of the gist of what is wrong with this company. 2, what is wrong with VTubing? And 3, what do we do to fix this space that was supposed to be the most wholesome space in the world and is now the most toxic? So first I want to give you guys some context. If you're not a VTuber super fan, you might not know VTuber corporations are at the heart of VTubing. Most of the big content creators come from corporations, and they give the sense of an idol group. They have sub branches in them that feel like their own little worlds. They do very good character building. They have high quality assets. It feels like a live anime show. They're incredibly appealing to creators. They give you everything: a model, assets, ads, 3D shows. But at the end of the day, they own everything. So it's not like you're in a K-pop group where if you leave, you're still Lisa. If you leave, you are nobody. And although you could make a separate account and have fans find it, oftentimes talents are discouraged from that. If they make a secondary account, it's very strictly monitored to make sure that you're not criticizing the company, that you're not making it too clear who you are, that you're not engaging with your main account. So essentially it's useless. And these companies look for talent specifically that want to give 200% of them to achieve their dreams. So they're picking people who will probably not be smart enough to create a backup plan. So how does this relate to the VTuber manager tweet from this week? So basically she was just doing her job, and this company decided to spin a narrative that made her a villain. Why is that? Why is it that they're doing this with managers and with talent? So let's get to it. Part 1, why this company messed up. So I want to be clear, I'm not going to be talking about my experience because I don't want to get sued. And there's a lot going on in my life. My mom is in the hospital. I'm not going to get sued right now. I don't want to, but I still want to speak up and give you guys an awareness of we got to change things. But outside of my personal experience, the problem with this company specifically is that they don't treat their talents and their managers as adult professionals, which seems obvious, but apparently is not. Who thought that it was a smart idea to create weird narratives of why you're firing talents instead of just firing them? Who thought this was smart? Honestly, I've lost respect, not because they're bad people, but because they are stupid people. But here's the deal. With big companies, anything is a PR nightmare. So addressing a concern oftentimes feels like admitting you're wrong. Now suddenly you have evidence that they admitted to some degree of having any fault in anything, and that could be twisted on Twitter for drama. So these companies instead treat anyone that has any concern with them as an immense liability. And instead of solving problems, they make them disappear.
I'm gonna make them an offer they can't refuse.
So basically, this company messed up because they had a faulty strategy of how to communicate with their team. And I'll give you an example of how I got terminated in 2021 from a gaming company, and you can contrast that with the current situation with Lonnie. So in 2021, and sorry to dox myself, warning if you don't want to see it, but I worked with Misfits Gaming. I was a content creator for them, and I also worked with their TikTok team. And they decided to shift directions because their direction at that moment was not very sustainable. Esports was on a decline, and I was part of their esports team, so I was let go. I've been going through a lot at that time, so it was definitely hard to be let go, but the team was very nice to me. They were very supportive of what I was going through in my personal life, and they explained very well their shift in direction and why I was no longer going to be with the company. I got many opportunities because they believed in me, and I was with them for a long time, and I had no bad feelings toward them. I harbor no resentment. I am still friends with the people that I worked with. I still respect them, and I'm using them in this video as an example of a good company. Just because you don't want me working for your company, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. And that's how most companies are run. They have to let go of people. That's part of it. But there's a way to do it, and there's a way to not do it. And these companies are not putting enough time and effort into having a baseline humane system of communication with their talents and with their managers. So why did this company mess up? Zero communication skills. I don't want to say too much on part one because at the end of the day, my mom's in the hospital. I've got real life problems. I don't feel like getting sued right now. So company, if you're seeing this, I am not slandering you. We're going to part two of why so many companies mess up. A big pattern in the VTubing sphere is that a company is owned by a bigger company, oftentimes in Japan. So your CEO in America has a CEO in Japan. The CEO in Japan just sees the EN branch or the EU branch as just a moneymaker. They oftentimes are not VTuber fans. They don't know much about content creation at all. They don't come from a content creation background or even a gaming esports background. They're oftentimes just businessmen looking to do some business and make some money. This structure is inherently flawed because the EN branch or the EU branch, whatever branch you are in, is at the mercy of their parent company. So their parent company that has no idea what's going on in the day-to-day of your company, that doesn't see you as human because they can't. They don't know you. They don't know any of the freelance artists or the editors or the talents or even the managers or even the CEO. They might not really know of this branch. The parent company holds so much power over something they don't understand. How are you expected to fire someone in a humane way if you haven't even met them? So at the end of the day, a parent company should have no power over who gets fired and how they get fired. So this hierarchy is inherently abusive because if a talent is going to be fired under false pretenses, a manager can't speak up because they will also get fired. A company that is willing to cross the line of a healthy work dynamic so far that they would make up what you did to fire you, they would be willing to fire everyone around you as well. The only thing that they're looking at is, are we going to lose a talent that's making us the most money right now? If so, maybe they'll try to be more humane about the situation. That's sad, but the structure of parent companies and their branches, to me, seems to create a pattern that is unsustainable and inherently problematic. These companies have to stop trying to silence people or cut them off when there's a problem, and instead learn how to deal with those problems. So that gets us to part 3. What can you do about it? If you're a VTuber super fan and you want to help out, or if you don't even really know what VTubers are and you're watching till now, what can you do? So first, I'll talk to VTubers who might want to join a corporation, and then I'll talk to the community. First, VTubers. If you want to become a big idol someday, my biggest tip to you is get a regular job, save up, and reinvest in your channel. I know there's a lot of drama around getting a freelance manager, but if there's someone you truly trust, get a freelance manager. If you have questions about what it takes to make a successful channel, comment below, ask me. I am willing to do this for free for you. There are channels like Yume where you can definitely ask those questions as well. I personally think that VTuber organizations are amazing. I think they're an important part of the VTubing world. They give an amazing sense of family and idol groups and support. I definitely don't think that they should go away. But you should not put all your eggs into a corporate basket. If you haven't learned to grow your own channel, you don't even know what expectations to have of a corporation. If you don't have a real job experience before becoming a VTuber idol, you won't know what's messed up in your company. So first, get a job, save up, reinvest into learning about content creation, making good content, learning what you want to do, and then audition. And then who should you audition for? My tip is only audition for small corporations. Yeah, maybe they don't have all that much money, but they don't have the problematic hierarchy that's gonna cause their ultimate downfall. A big thing that's helped me find good corporations, I've talked to a lot of different orgs, and a big sign has been if the CEO shows up on streams and is active and seems to have a healthy relationship with talents, this CEO is probably invested enough in the content that they will try to be nice and humane. That's been my experience. Every single org that does that has been amazing behind the scenes and in my personal experience. So that would be my big tip for you. And for you VTuber fans, I want to emphasize how much power you hold. Some good power, some bad power. If you are in forums speculating about talents, for instance, thinking that someone's boyfriend is in chat, guess what? A corporation might fire a talent over that, even if it's not true. These corporations are looking to make talents a liability, mainly if they're not that profitable. So you might be giving them that reason. Even if you hate a talent, just don't talk about them. And if you love a talent, definitely don't talk about them. The other power that you hold is not overvaluing corporations. VTuber orgs are so fun, but if you value only VTuber orgs, which is a big chunk of the space, then you are telling talents that they'll only ever make it in VTubing if they join one of those orgs. Start looking at indies or even indie groups that are just, girls who have things in common joining forces, and support them. Show talents that they don't have to join an abusive contract in order to have their dreams come true. Right now, the VTubing space is not wholesome. So in order to make it so again, we have to kind of shift how we are interacting with the space. We have to shift a little bit away from idolizing orgs and even idolizing idols and treating even these characters, and I think they should be characters, that is VTubing, but treating these characters as a little bit more human. Same way you see an anime protagonist as human, even if they're ultimately somewhat a work of fiction, we can see VTubers as ultimately human, even if there's something of a persona there. I know it sucks and I know it's taking away a little bit of the magic, but I think maybe we have to strip VTubing a little bit of its magic for now so the magic can come back to it. Right now it just feels like it's a bunch of sad, abused people putting on a mask of joy, and it'd be nice if there were some happy people spreading joy. I know this might not be the spiciest, hottest video. I'm not talking too much about my personal experience, but hopefully it inspires people to make a better streaming and VTubing scene. And if you hate me from this video, just keep your distance. Thank you guys. I've been Susie.